All right, here we are again. Welcome to the live chat. I'm still just catching my bearings on doing this video. I'm turning on the lights there because it seems to help out, I think, at nighttime. I was in easy entry mode. It's when the steering wheel is moved out of my way so I can sit in properly. And now it goes straight to my settings. It says that this is going to be a 19-minute drive, and the car's been driving pretty awesome. But every once in a while on some of the side streets, you got to be really careful. So I'm going to start off here. We're on a side street. Take my foot on the brake. That should be full self-driving. Oh, you know what I did? I put it into neutral. All right, from park into drive. And that's full self-driving. It's bringing me to the middle of the lane. And I put it on chill mode this time for the first time. I've been driving in average, and I want to see it make a few less mistakes. So let's go chill mode. We just stopped at a stop sign. I looked both ways, and the car made its right-hand turn. All right, it's going to be a little shaky here, everybody. Sorry about that at the beginning. We're driving on side streets in the Bronx. Once we get to the highway, it should be a lot smoother. The suspension on the Model Y is it's pretty awesome, so it doesn't seem that bumpy to me. This is a really interesting right-hand turn here. We can make this big. We're gonna come wide, and then we're gonna make a sharp turn going towards the highway there. I hope it could do it. It looks like it's looking around, trying to guess where the other side of the road is. It's kind of out of the visual. There's a person crossing right here. The light's still red though. This is pretty awesome. You can move this around. I don't know why you'd want to cover that up though, so let's leave it down here. All right, the light's turning yellow on the other side. All right, now let's see what it does here. We have the poles from the train. We stayed far away from all of them. That was awesome. And now the blinker changed. Lane changed onto the on-ramp. Great. All right. Looks like it's going to 50 pretty quick. 44. Max speed 50. Getting on the highway with some gusto for chill mode. Changing lanes. Stay out of rightmost lane. Use the turn signal. Use turn signal to cancel. Okay. Well, the turn signal's on. Use turn signal. Huh. I turned off the full self-driving and turned it back on. Confirm lane change. That seems better. Every once in a while when it goes on, it seems to, sometimes it's like it starts off with a good run. Speed limit work zone 40 miles an hour. Let's see if it changes. That should have changed. Meanwhile, I don't see a work zone, so. All right, so there's definitely a lot of things to still work on with full self-driving. The good news is that since I've had the car, it's updated at least once a week. Um, I'm assuming a few of the changes I've read looked like it was with full self-driving. Now I don't know exactly what it was. One of them was the navigation on how it remembered the last number of places you went to and how it shows it on the map. But I look forward to more updates and different changes. There's every time I think I found something, there's always something else to find. We're coming to this drawbridge before it went to do kind of a hasty lane change in the drawbridge because of the lines disappeared. All right. All right, it asked me to just put some slight pressure on the wheel. What crazy timing that asked me. I was wondering, what's it want to do? No, it stayed in the lane. It's driving pretty normal, middle lane. I mean, this is chill mode. It seems to be driving the same exact way as it does an average. It says that the distance between cars will be greater and that the lane changes will be less. So, I mean, I'm okay with that. There's nobody on the highway anyway. So what I'm doing when I'm driving, I'm keeping my driver's foot hovering over the brake at most times when I feel uncomfortable. But when I feel comfortable, like now on the highway and nobody's in front of me, I keep it right on the edge of the pedal. If I touch the brake, it turns off the full self-driving. If I touch the pedal, I could show you guys what happens. I have a max 50 and a speed limit 50. If I hit the pedal, I can kind of just power through a little bit, give myself some extra speed when the car doesn't want to do something and I feel comfortable with it. I look at the blue line. So if I'm out on the road and there's a tight squeeze and I'm in full self-driving, the car might come to a stop because it feels too uncomfortable with the car close by. Well, if I feel like that the decision is correct, I can touch the pedal and without turning off full self-driving, I can drive and continue the obstacle. And then full self-driving continues the second I take my foot off the pedal. Although it doesn't actually even really stop when I put my foot on the pedal. It just, I take over the speed and it continues to steer. So, so far, so good. Tesla stock is down again. I'm sure everybody knows that. I'm not here to talk about Tesla stock, but everybody keeps coming up to me and telling me, get rid of your Tesla stock, get rid of your Tesla stock. I can't help but say that's usually a sign that you should hold on to your Tesla stock. So I've been nibbling away, buying a little bit more every other day or so. Whenever the market is red, I'll buy a little bit. If the market's green, or if Tesla's green, I'll let it fly, see what it does. But on the red days, it's like going to war. I got my money, and I hit the stuff with all the ammo I can. On days of the green days in the market or in Tesla stock, I run around and I gather as much money back up. I do some side work. I call in some invoices, and I pull some money out of some saving accounts that I might have stashed up for a rainy day. Not my advice. See, that's beautiful. Look at how fast some people go. And I'm worried about this taking off. Sheesh. Yeah, I'm not giving anybody advice on what to do. Tesla is not my only holding. I'm not here to talk about stocks, but I definitely do like finances. And I feel like you can't really make too many mistakes with a really good company in a long-term future outlook. Don't look at how much money you have in your account and just watch your shares increase, and that should mean that you're doing the right thing. That's my piece of advice. All right. We got 0.4 miles to get off at the cross county. I'm in the right lane. Coming up to the exit 6B. I see it right here, right lane only. I mean, chill mode seems to be pretty cool. All right, let's see if it turns on its blinker and takes the lane, even though we were in the correct lane. That's fine though. There's 2 lanes. All right, you can see that there's no speed sign here, but it's making a tight turn. Yeah, and it touched the edge over there. See, I have to say, it's making a few more mistakes than it had before I took videos. Turned back on the full self-driving. I took over right there. I wanted to see if it was going to touch that edge, and I saw that the edge had a nice slope to it. So I just as it touched the edge, I pulled it out. Interesting. But I still haven't felt unsafe at all. I feel more unsafe if I put on cruise control on a regular car. That's for sure. I mean, those things, if you're not paying attention, I mean, it's just driving at a speed. All right, it's asking me for a lane change. I'll go to confirm it, even though there's a car coming. Put on the blinker, and it really does really well changing lanes. I still wonder on how it performs at nighttime compared to the daytime. I believe the cameras seem to see everything. Seems pretty detailed on here. Everything that I'm looking at is on there. So, but sometimes I'm wondering how come she wants to get crazy now? How come she wanted to take that turn and be so tight on that edge without having another car next to me or anything to worry about? It's just interesting. Speed limit 45, and it just changed over here. I love it when it has that instant response. All right, we got 1.8 miles. I'm going to move my max speed up to 50. I'm in New York, and they say not to go 10 miles an hour over the speed limit so you don't get a ticket. So sometimes I go 9, and I think that matters. The speed cameras in New York City, they only go off if you go over 10 miles an hour, the ones that take pictures of you. I want to know, what do you guys think? What do you guys know in your states? Do you guys have the same rules? I guess a cop could pull you over for going 2 miles an hour over the speed limit, right? It's still speeding. Speed limit defined would be the limit that you can reach, not around this speed, not in the neighborhood of this speed. All right, you can see there's a cone up here. You'll always see them come up on here. I mean, it really recognizes cones. I remember reading a story about it having a problem with green cones. Well, I have to say nowadays it sees all color cones. It sees things that aren't even cones, but that are meant to act like cones, and it turns them into a cone on here, which I think is pretty awesome. Like stanchions, every once in a while, the ones that are freestanding ones for bikers, they'll put cones here sometimes. Sometimes I'll actually see the image of the actual stanchion. It's one of the newer images that I've seen on the full self-driving screen. All right, it's asking me for a lane change into the middle lane. We got a big hill in front of us. So something cool, full self-driving does really well also is save you a lot of power. This line right here, this is a bar, kind of like a power bar in a video game. Well, anything from the center to the left, it turns green. When it turns green, that's your regenerative braking. On this downhill, it's using my inertia to recharge the car's batteries through the tires of the dual motors. When you give it gas and you're going on uphills, this green line, instead of going to the left, goes to the right and it turns gray or white. That means that you're using that much electricity. We're in a pretty dark area over here. We're slowing down for a pretty big turn. Let's see if it turns on the high beams again. It usually turns on the high beams when it gets pretty dark by itself, and then it turns it off in well-lit areas. All right, it says 45 miles an hour, but I see 25 miles per hour for this turn here. Let's see, high beams came on. Oh, we're down to 37. I know I've driven on this at this speed, so I feel comfortable, but that sign said 25 mile per hour on the curve. It really should read those small yellow signs also. I don't know if we have different signs here on the East Coast than they do on the West Coast. All right, you guys can see the high beams are on because nobody's around. Once we get a visual of another car, or for no reason, they just turn off. All right, we're driving in the right lane. I'm not really sure of this whole chill mode. I mean, it says 50 miles an hour. I guess it's really just about the distance of you and cars and the amount of lane changes. So it's kind of hard to recognize the difference between chill mode and average mode. If it's still going to drive a little fast and a little closer to some of the sides. And by the sides, I mean the shoulder. So if you're in the left lane, it seems to hug that left side pretty tight. If you're in the right lane, it seems to hug whatever the right line is on, or on a curve, that edge, it really hugs it. All right, we're almost back. Half a mile. There's actually nothing to turn into. So New York City speed limit, 25 miles an hour. I'm glad it didn't pick that sign up and change the speed limit here, because we are definitely not in a 25. So that's good. It seems to really recognize the speed limit signs that look like this speed limit sign. Like, they're all official, but I guess that's the one that we all know from the highways. All right. We can get off exit 23 or 22. Let's see what she wants to do. All right, it's going to get off exit 23. See how it turns those high beams on when it gets a little dark? I mean, I like that feature. All right, so here goes our exit. It's not going to ask for permission. It's just going to do it. All right, when we get off the highway, she starts to slow down. That's awesome. It already went to 25 miles an hour from that speed limit sign. And this is when she seems to perform really well sometimes. She looks like she's having a good run. We'll see how the rest of this finishes off. Come to the stop sign. We usually go into autopilot creeping forward mode. And see how it stops and goes a little bit. It feels sure enough there's no cars coming. And I mean, that is solid the way it does that. That is definitely just a solid lane change, and great getting off the highway. It's asking me for permission again. There we go. Here goes our lane change. See what it does here at this yellow light. Should follow this guy through. Oh, we're gonna go straight across. Okay. I would have been fine making that left-hand turn, but I think this way is slightly faster. So I use Waze all the time, and I use it a bunch of times with the Tesla GPS, the Tesla navigation. I have to say, Tesla seems to be more on point on the times that I arrive places than Waze. It seems to take me a slightly different direction, which seems to be better. I think after a number of years, Waze has gotten a little corrupt and sometimes tells me to go the way it wants me to go. Um, this seems to go the right way every time. It shows the yellow and the red for traffic on here. Tesla charges, I think it's $12 a month, $99 a year. I think so, for the full connectivity service. So that allows me like to turn on movies at any time from any of my accounts in Netflix or Disney or Hulu, YouTube. Um, it allows me to have this navigation screen and a couple of other things. There's a streaming music that Tesla seems to have. There we go, a left-hand turn. Tesla seems to have put a lot of random songs on. All right, here goes a car. I'd love it if the car would just stop and wait here without me doing anything. This is the right move. Stop and wait. I'm not even powering through. She did that all on her own. And that's good. That's good. All right. So he put on some streaming at one of the days I used the voice command, and I said, put on Christmas music. And all of a sudden it did. And I found a whole bunch of albums and tracks that Tesla, the car, put together and has for you to listen to. I'm pretty sure that that's through the connectivity service that I paid for. Autopilot creeping forward, checking visibility. We're almost here. Boy, I've been talking the whole time. Not that I have a problem with talking, obviously, but I need to take a sip of some water. Right here, we're making our last turn, and it looks really successful after that last little mishap. Let's see how this finishes. Yep, it's being careful because not only was that car there, but it looked like the car to the left of me was going to go through that stop sign and come straight into this road. So I don't think you guys could have seen that, but that was a good little safety measure. All right, we're just about at our destination. I'm going to end the trip and turn off the full self-driving by turning the wheel. You'll see this. See right there? I just turned it a little bit. And I'm going to go around the block and go to where I park. But I'll pull over right here and turn this off. That was awesome, I think. I hope it went well on here. I hope it wasn't shaking too much. And tomorrow I'll try a video in the morning if I can get up in time. And try to do the same placement of the camera in the daytime. Here goes a cool feature. Found out the other day, the air, you can move it with your finger on the display on where it aims and hits you. Tell me that's not fun. It's a lot of features. Here go the rear seats. You got heated seats. 3 temperatures. Here goes the front. I got the heated steering on. I'll turn that off. Guys, thanks for viewing. Take care. Have a great night. And hopefully I'll see you real soon.